Welcome to You Asked For It, where you ask the questions and we give our input, our answers to these questions, our opinions, depending on what they are. What's the question for today?
What does the Bible say about marital finances?
Nothing. Is there another one?
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this week's episode.
It says 0.
Yeah, what does the Bible say about marital finances? My assumption in the question is they mean about bank accounts and spending money and decision-making sort of things regarding money. So the Bible doesn't specifically address that.
No.
But there are principles there that would apply.
Absolutely. I see two principles in that question. First principle is, what does the Bible say about our money, which there's so much. Proverbs has a lot to say about it. There's, about giving to God first and so many first fruits kind of thing. Old Testament principle
Don't
to God.
go into debt.
Yeah, and then Proverbs has all kinds of things about not going out of debt, living within your means, saving, all of that stuff I think is very biblical about how to handle money. So the Bible does tell us how to handle money. It really, really does. However, when it comes to marriage money, the Bible only tells us about marriage. Number one, that the two become one. Marriage is a single unit where two people become one. A man and a woman become one flesh, one, even spiritually, directionally, everything. This is one unit, one family, one purpose, one direction. Unity is everything in marriage. So I think everything can apply to that principle. The Bible does tell us that there is order in marriage. There is the buck stops here with the husband. The wife is a helper to the husband to direct where this family's going and make sure we get there and do whatever we take. We work together as a team. They both oversee, discipline the children to make sure they teach and train their children to go the same way that this family is going, the same belief systems, the same. So it's really all about unity and this order of leader and support and all of that, how it goes. So apply anything in there, and I think it would say. So when you apply money to that, I think money would be under the same thing, okay? The money's going one direction for one purpose. We're in unity here. And I think if these people are asking for separate checkbooks, if it's just a management system, I don't see anything wrong with that. If you want to manage your money that way, like this income goes for all our bills, this income goes just for vacations, or this income, all of this income goes for retirement. Or if people want to divide things that way, I think for an easy management system, there's nothing wrong with that. However, if you get into your money, my money, that instantly speaks of division, speaks of value, different values going the same way. Not that we all like the same thing or have the same values, but we need to be unified in our values as a family, that sort of thing. But so I would say if that question is separate checkbooks, depends on the why. Most things do. If it's just a simple management system, there's probably nothing wrong with it whatsoever. If it's this is mine and not yours, it is totally from the pit of hell.
Right.
Totally divisive, evil, not good. Not good.
Yeah, I've known some couples. I know some couples even now that are like the spouse will go to the other one and say, "Hey, can I borrow some money?"
Whoa.
It's like, wait a minute.
Whoa.
Borrow some money from who? From me?
Everything under this name,
It should
everything
all
under
be,
this house is one.
Right.
Okay, everything's yours and mine is yours, and
right, except for my guitars. Yes, everything is ours.
But get your filthy mitts off those.
Right. No, that's it's crazy, isn't it?
Can I borrow some money from your spouse?
From your spouse. Yep. Yeah, that's.
I've heard
that statement.
This split in finances between a husband and a wife is becoming a lot more prevalent. I know a few couples as well, and they both make different amounts, and this person pays this much of the mortgage and this person pays this much of this to keep it equal. And, this person uses more of this certain utility. And so they have to pay more of that bill. And like nothing about that in my head makes sense according to what you just said, based on what we see about the oneness that marriage is supposed to be. I don't know. It sounds to me like you're more roommates than husband and wife.
Yeah, partners in just making it through life, or kind of like like business partners rather than unity in one.
Right.
Yeah, it seems to me like that kind of system would be completely divided. There's no unity in that.
Yeah, I heard another conversation, same type of scenario. It was like, I was really thinking about going out and getting XYZ. It was a car, but I'm thinking about going out and getting this car. Well, go ahead. You got your own money. That was the conversation. It's like, what? No, I thought we had the money. This is our money.
If
I'm talking to you about making an investment on going out or a purchase on getting a vehicle because the one I have is falling apart. We need another one. We'll go use your money to do it.
Maybe that comes from the fact of one person feels cheated over the other one, where we're talking about unity, and we talk about our priorities together as a couple, where we're going, what we should do, and one would say, but you're more selfish, or you buy more things than I do, and that's where that maybe fairness wants to come in. Wait a minute, I want to be fair. Well, that's a deeper issue than finances. That is an issue of trust and care and love, and our definition of we kind of, from Ephesians, with a lot of weddings we use this idea that from the Bible, that the wife should submit to the husband love the wife. And I think what the Bible is trying to tell us, and we've tried to make clear, is that the wife is a supporter of the direction this family's going. It's not a slave, or not, do everything your husband tells you, whether it's legal or illegal or immoral or nothing. You do that. And for a husband to love his wife, we completely miss what that is. And I think you and I have put in a good definition to that with the principles preferences thing. I think, and I really stand behind this, and I believe this with all my heart. As the leader of the house, a husband is to love his wife. And that is, love would say, I am going to bring this family to following godly principles, even if it's painful and even if everybody doesn't like it. I will strive to do this. But when it comes to preferences, I will die to myself like Christ did for the church. It's just such a perfect picture. When it comes to preferences, husbands should want to give their wives, love their wives with the preferences that they want. Hey, you want to live on a lake? We will do our very best to do that. If that's what you want, but I'm holding this family to principles and serving God, and I'm also responsible to make sure we're not going to buy a $600,000 house when we can only afford a $200,000 house. So that kind of stuff. And so, I think working towards that and some counseling or whatever is the way to fix these problems. Not your money, my money. That's not helping the situation.
I think a lot more in that fairness thing, and they're spending, I don't agree with or whatever. That's why almost every time we talk about marriage, listen, by the third date, start going to counseling. Like this idea of, listen, if you know that they're really into XYZ and it costs $100,000 a year for this hobby and you don't like it, what is wrong in your mind that you would even consider marrying them?
I love them.
Oh, that's right. Love is blind.
I'm in
love.
Like,
come on. What? The answer is not, well, I'll just keep this to me. The answer is don't get freaking married then.
Right.
Hello.
This is not the battle you want the rest of your life. And why would you marry somebody who cares about that more than you? Why would you marry somebody? Oh, that's right. I'm in love.
Maybe that'll be... We don't really do counseling, but if anybody ever comes to me, would you marry us? Do you love that person? Yes. Sorry, can't marry you.
No.
I only marry people who aren't in love.
You marry the ones that are in like.
Yeah,
I'm going to marry the ones who aren't in love. You're in agreement.
So, prime example, I talk about this a lot. My younger brother and his wife, they're still married. They're happily married, whatever. But I remember when they were dating, they were thinking about getting married. I face to face talked to her. I said, "No, you know that Tom hunts, right? Now you're going to be okay with it. You're not going to switch 2 years down the road, right? Just trying to make this clear because this is a family heritage. This is what we do, right?" And she said, "Yeah, I know that. I know. And I'm okay with him hunting." She thought, from her view of life, hunting was one weekend in November. She wasn't understanding
not
the
way of life people,
context
no.
in which hunting. No, it starts September and it ends December 31st. Okay,
That's just
hunting.
the literal hunting. There's not the daydreaming and the research and the watching the shows and
Yeah. So my point is, you have to understand hobbies, values, morals. All of these things. That's what the dating process is for.
Yeah.
I am finding all of this stuff out before I decide if I'm going to be in love or not.
I don't think there's my wife and I don't really do this anymore, but I remember when we were early on and started doing the Dave Ramsey stuff and envelopes, all that, like setting aside category sorts of things, and we both had a category of here's all our money that comes in. We're going to divvy it up where we need to, and then whatever's left after savings, blah blah blah, we'll divvy it up into here's stuff that I can just do whatever I want with.
Your mad money,
Yep.
your own private,
and hers as well, which I think I think that would be a good idea.
Absolutely.
For people. And I would even say they don't have to be the same amount, but I think what happens so often in these situations where they are split is there's no discussion that goes into that. It's just, well, I don't like what you like, and so I'm going to keep to me. And you're like, no. Talk about it. Discuss it.
time.
Does this line up with the direction that we're going?
You do have a certain amount of freedom to do what you want, and that you can save your own money for. But it's not like I earned it. No, it's our money that we decide ahead of time to budget.
And you know what? If something happens, if we need a new water heater that's not in the budget, we don't keep, well, I've been storing this up for 6 months and it's my money. Like, no. This is still our money.
Yep.
Which I don't know. The whole concept of different finances does not make sense to me one bit.
No.
So, and I don't think anything biblically would support that either.
Along that line, as pastors all probably have their different, criteria that I will marry this person or I won't marry that person. A lot of pastors that if you've ever been divorced, I will not remarry you, whatever. Mine was pretty simple. I didn't try not to be the judge. Or even married couples that I thought you are not going to make it 3 months. You nothing. But I never put myself as a judge. You're adults. You're making this decision. Yes, I will do my best, and I would perform the ceremony for you. There is one case that I would not do a wedding for people.
I know you've talked about it.
And I don't mean to be, again, I don't want to offend people, but I would not marry people who would not take the same last name.
Yep.
If either one, we assume mostly it was the female, but if they will not take the same last name, and so, well, why would you do that? Because this whole thing's about unity, one family. You are starting out divided. We are not. We are not the Hasseltine home.
Yep.
What do you mean you're not? No. We are a home that has two different. Like, you know what? I want nothing to do with that. I can't ask God to bless this and be unified, and go if you're starting out divided.
Yeah.
So that was my. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That's where I was at with. This is a divided situation from day one.
Yeah. And I always viewed people that did that as they're living in the past. They're not willing to let go of the change, and they'll go with a hyphenated name or whatever. That's just in my head. That's how that works.
I would deal with the hyphenation if they wanted to keep some kind. But generally, I would in my head ask why. I want my own individual. That's against this marriage thing.
Yeah. If you want to stay individual, don't get married.
Don't get married. If you want to be an individual, then don't be married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that answered the question. We went through a bunch of different topics on the topic of marriage, but yeah.
Oh, and the answer isn't just make more money, by the way. Okay? Just
It
say that.
isn't?
No.
Oh,
The
That's not
answer
the
is
answer.
be as unified as possible in
Yes.
all things.
All things.
All things. Money, parenting, what church you go to, everything. Politics.
Huge one.
My
I'm
gosh.
doing a wedding in 2 weeks, and I was meeting with this couple about, what their value. We always want people to be. The Bible says not to be unequally yoked, pulling two different directions. So it means in your faith, but it means way more than just faith. What are you, how unified are you on your core values? You can't be a liberal and a conservative and be married. You can probably be roommates and even
Sure.
have fun together.
Yep.
But you cannot raise children under that circumstance. You can't be.
You can't be one.
You can't be one with those core value difference. Raising children is another one. How you view money is another one. These are core values that if you're not unified in that before you get married, it will be a contention the rest of your life.
Yep.
Why do that?
Yep. Be one.
Yep.
Or as
Be one.
close to one as you can possibly be.
yep.
Work
Awesome.
towards oneness.
All right. Okay, and if you do have any new questions, feel free to put them in the comment section here, and we'll see you next time.